What's up, everybody? One Fun Guy podcast live in the studio. Guys, I'm trying to transition my light a little bit. I put the black ceiling tiles up, and I think the light reflecting it is too much, so I'm staying a little bit dark. I know my skull isn't as bright as it used to be, so I don't know if that's any different, but I just wanted to come on tonight, guys, real quick. I'm going to be on for about 15 or 20 minutes. I just wanted to say hi. Raven Black is going to be my guest, guys. She is going to be on September, I believe, 14th. I'm trying to get the dates locked down for her. And then my buddy Casey, who used to be a professional wrestler, is going to be on the 21st. So it's going to be a fun and exciting September. Those are my two for the month, guys. I'm going to lock them down, and then I'll move on to, obviously, October, November, and then December. And then in January, guys, the One Fun Guy podcast turns 2. So it's really kind of crazy to think that it's been, 2 years since I've been doing this. But, so I'm just double checking. The 14th is with Raven Black at 4:30 p.m. And the podcast with Casey is going to be on the 21st, and that is going to be at also 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, guys. So please join me in Raven Black and Casey for my next two podcasts. I'm super excited to have them on. I am going to try to share this out if anybody is on. I'm just going to do this real quickly and kind of go from there, guys. I'm not going to be on super long tonight. I just wanted to hop on real quick just to say hi, that I've been thinking about you guys. I wanted to thank you all for being a part of my podcast. It really means the world to me that you guys are here and doing this. So I'm super appreciative that you guys are watching me, supporting me, doing everything you can basically to help me grow and gain my community. I am at 555 subscribers on YouTube, guys. My goal is to hit 600 by November 1st. And then my ultimate goal, obviously, is to hit 1,000 as soon as I can. I would like to do that in January. Maybe when I turn 2, I'll have 1,000 on. I am being realistic, guys. It's taken me a little bit to grow. So if you guys can support me and head over to my YouTube channel and subscribe, that obviously would mean the world to me. If you could do that, I would really, really appreciate it. I am just sharing this out to a few people who may or may not be on tonight, guys. I'm not going to stay on very long. I just wanted to get it out there. So if you're here, say what's up. Hillary, welcome. If you guys are new here, say hi. If you're an old school person, welcome back. The One Fun Guy podcast. Like I said, guys, in January, I'm turning 2. So it's pretty unique and exciting, guys. I never thought this journey would be as fun and rewarding as it has been. I'm super stoked to have you guys on it with me, and all the people that I've met and everybody that I've talked to and everybody that I have on. It means the world to me, guys. So I want to keep it going, obviously. I want to do this way, way into the future. I want to turn 5. I want to turn 10. I want to turn 15. I want to keep it going, guys. I really just love the podcasting idea. I love talking to people and meeting new people, guys. It's really rewarding. And I am really, really happy that you guys get to come along on this really cool journey with me. So if you're new here, guys, say what's up. If you are returning One Fun Guy podcast family member, say hi, be interactive in the group. Eduardo, welcome in. If you're new here, guys, just say hi. Introduce yourselves. We are a very fun and interactive group. I'm trying to build a really good community here. If you guys are new, just please welcome yourselves to the group. Say hi, introduce yourself. T-Farm, what's going on? Like I said, guys, I've been doing this now for 2 years, and it's been an amazing journey for me. I am super happy. Kelly was supposed to be on tonight, guys. He's one half of the pod cult. He said that he had some stuff going on tonight, so unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do it. But with that being said, I'm still on. So I'm not going to stay on very long, guys, tonight. If you're new here, guys, please say hello. Flawless, welcome. If you guys are new here, introduce yourselves, guys. I try to stay as interactive as I can here. If you like this show, that's awesome. It really helps me out. I always tell you guys, I appreciate all the gifts, but you guys do not have to send me gifts to be interactive. I would much rather you go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would mean the world to me, guys. So if you're new here, Michelle, what's going on? Welcome in. If you like what you see, send me a follow. I'll follow you back. I'm pretty easygoing, guys. I love doing my podcast. I do a weekly podcast. It's been turning into bi-weekly just because my schedule has been really, really hectic. But I love doing it, so I'm not going to give it up, guys. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize my channel over on YouTube. It is One Fun Guy Podcast over on YouTube, guys. If you see my logo, you'll know what it is. I'm actually going to change it here. I like showing my face just so people can recognize me, but I think my logo is more beneficial to me now. But if you guys are new here, say what's up. Randy, welcome. If you're new, say hi, introduce yourselves. If you're a returning One Fun Guy Podcast family member, introduce yourself to the group. I want to make everybody welcome here. I want to grow the community. I want to do everything that I can do to make this the most beneficial thing that I could do. What's going on, Randy? How have you been? And like I said, guys, I want it to be a fun, interactive community. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. If you guys could share the show out, though, guys, it would really mean the world to me. Like I said, I'm not going to stay on long. If you guys haven't checked out the band Raven Black, they are awesome. You can find all their music on every major streaming platform. Raven Black is awesome. I've seen them live a few times. Raven from the band is going to be on my podcast. That'll be September 14th. And then September 21st, my buddy Casey's going to be on. He was a pro wrestler back in the day, so he's got a ton of stories to tell. I can't wait to tell him my story about how I almost became a pro wrestler. This is no joke. My cousin Joe was with me. We were at a bar. I played football in college, and there was a tag team there that wrestled at my school. I got to know them. I rubbed elbows with them. They were super nice guys. And lo and behold, I graduate college. It's about 2 years later. I'm at a bar downtown Chicago with my cousin Joe. The drinks are flying. We're having a good time. I had just graduated. And I see these two dudes sitting at the end of the bar. They're very big, muscular guys, right? And I'm not saying I'm a small guy by any stretch of the imagination, but back in the day, I was very much in shape. Way more than I am now, which I wish I could get back to that shape. But anyways, I had really big arms. I had big shoulders. I was, like I said, working out from college. And these two dudes come up to me and I said, "You guys look familiar." And they were looking at me and they're kind of like strange-eyed. I said, "I know you guys. You guys are Heaven and Hell." They go, "How the hell do you know that?" I go, you guys wrestled at my school 2 years ago. And they were like, "Oh, yeah, we remember that." So they gave me their cards. They said, "If you want to become a professional wrestler, we have a wrestling school. We will be happy to train you." So my cousin Joe goes, "Are you going to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to call and be a professional wrestler." And obviously I didn't. My life trajectory turned out way different. But I often wondered what would have happened if I would have called them, right, guys? So this is circa probably 2003, maybe... Yeah, probably late 2003, early 2004. So this is at a time, guys, where, believe it or not, cell phones weren't really that prevalent. I think at that point I had a Primeco phone. It wasn't like you could give somebody your number and follow them on Instagram or TikTok. This is way before that. They had an email address and a phone number on their business cards. If you guys look them up, they're Chicago Wrestlers Heaven and Hell. But they recruited me to become a pro wrestler. They said they would train me. And I never called, and I always kind of regretted not calling just to see what would have happened, right? And not to say that I would have been the next Stone Cold Steve Austin or whatever, but I was pretty built. I was in shape. I was very confident. I was able to talk. I could probably cut awesome promos. My cocky mouth gets me into trouble sometimes, but I'm always trying to be as fun-loving as I can be. But that was my pro wrestling story. So I met those guys. They invited me to come and train. I obviously didn't. Who knows what would have happened if I would have called that number, right, or sent them that email. My life would have been completely different, right, if I'd have been been a pro wrestler, right? And I'm not saying I would have been, right? I could have just been a mediocre guy or got cut or whatever, but it's still a fun story to tell because those guys recognized me. They invited me in, and my cousin Joe was giving me shit all night about it. He's like, "You're gonna go to wrestling school. You're gonna be a pro wrestler." And I'm telling everybody that night as the drinks are flying that I'm gonna be a pro wrestler, and everybody in the bar is like, "Oh, that's awesome. You're gonna be a pro wrestler." And obviously, I didn't become one. I didn't even send those guys an email. I don't even know where they're at now. It'd be kind of cool to run into them and see where they're at now 20 years later. But Heaven and Hell was their tag team. They were a local Chicago guy. So if you're in the Chicagoland area and you're a professional wrestler and you know Heaven and Hell, tell them I said what's up. If you come across them or you see them, I don't even know what they were, but they were two big dudes, really built, muscular as shit. They're probably strong as hell. But anyways, so that's my pro wrestling story or lack thereof. So I want to get Casey on though to see what it was like to train and wrestle with those guys and be involved in an actual wrestling locker room and see if it was any different than football, the camaraderie, the stories, the drugs, the women, right? Like all of it, right? Because that's what goes into professional wrestling. A lot of those guys, unfortunately, were addicted to some pretty hardcore stuff, painkillers. Those guys were popping pills like they were M&Ms. So again, I just want to hear his story and see what happened with him and how he became a wrestler and what got him into it. Obviously, for me, as much as I wish I would have, right, showed the pythons out, but I didn't, right, guys? Oh, the Hulk Hogan 24 inches, right? I don't have that, but it would have been fun to see what it could have, should have, would have, right, and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, it didn't happen. I'm just having a good time with those guys, but I'm really stoked to have Casey on just to see what it was like to go through the training, see who he trained with, see who he met, who he rubbed elbows with. So I have Raven Black coming on the 14th, guys, and then I have Casey on the 21st. I'm super excited to have them on the One Fun Guy podcast. Like I said, guys, in January of next year, I turn 2, January 24th. It was the day, if you guys could see behind me, I trademarked the One Fun Guy podcast. So here I am, still going strong. It is awesome. I really appreciate all the love and support. I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me, everything that you guys have given to me, every thing that you've done. So it's awesome, and I just wanted to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. It really means the world to me that you guys have supported me, have been part of this, have been really interactive with me in watching the shows and giving me the courage and the strength to keep going and get these people on I couldn't do it without you guys, right? And I know a lot of people will definitely get into the realm of support and friend zone and becoming part of the One Fun Guy podcast family and subscribing. And it really, truly means the world to me. I cannot thank you enough for doing that. Lisa, welcome back. It really, truly means the world to me, guys, more than you ever know. This little community I built here on TikTok, the community I built over on YouTube, it really, really, really means the world to me that you guys like what I'm doing. You support me. You follow through. You've always been there for me, guys. And like I said, I can't believe that I'm turning 2, right? One Fun Guy podcast, January 24, 2 years old. Maybe I'll do a bash or something like that. Maybe I'll go live and have a celebration, maybe do some giveaways. I'm thinking about creating merchandise, guys. I've already done the stickers. If you guys want one, I can send you one. Everything's kind of in the works. I was thinking about making a logo hat or a logo hoodie or something like that. If anybody wants one, let me know. I don't know what the minimum amount of orders is for them. Obviously, I'm not a really popular YouTuber yet, but I will be. That's my goal, is to be 1,000 strong on YouTube, then get to 5,000, get to 10,000, get to 20, 30, 100,000, guys. That's what I want to do, right? I really want to go. Lisa, if you want one, let me know where I can send one. I'd be happy to do that for you. these were them, guys. I ordered a bunch. I kind of have them in the back burner. I was thinking about putting my logo on a hat or a hoodie. If anybody's interested in them, just shoot me a message here. DM me, let me know if you want one. Maybe I can look at some pricing for it. I saw a special the other day where if you ordered 10 hats, they were $10 a piece, so it'd be $100 to order 10 hats. I thought that would be kind of cool because I'm always wearing one. It's kind of like my accessory. The two big things I wear are hats and watches, so that's my big thing. So I thought maybe I'd make a hat with my logo on it. I obviously have enough t-shirts and hoodies, but if I was able to do one with my logo on it and it wasn't really outrageously expensive, I was kind of thinking about doing that too. It's all in the works, guys. Obviously, I need a Apple Watch is life. I'm a watch collector. I have a bunch. I actually got the case down here with watches. I just wore my Apple Watch tonight. I am a watch collector. I'm trying to grow my watch collection as well, but that is a very, very, very expensive hobby. So with that, I am trying to grow my channel, my community, guys. I appreciate all the love and support. Again, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you. I have hundreds of bands for my Apple Watch. Yeah, I got a few too. This is the leather one, the magnetic one. It's an Apple one. It's my favorite so far. It's the most comfortable to wear. But yeah, I have a bunch too. I switch off. But this is the one that I usually wear for work. It usually does the best. Yeah, this is like an Under Armour hat. It's just a plain black Under Armour. So I was thinking about like maybe just ordering 2 or 3 Under Armours and taking them to the local embroidery and see if they can put my logo on the hat, just for me to wear. And then if anybody wants one, I possibly sending them out or shipping them out. I don't know if anybody would be interested in one. I'd imagine. I think the Under Armour hats are $20. It'd probably cost me about $10 to put a logo on the hat, I would imagine, to embroider it. So if for me to make a profit, maybe I would sell them for $40 or something like that. Has anybody ever done that? Just so you guys know, out of curiosity, has anybody made a hat or done stuff with that machine? I forget what it's called, where you can embroider stuff on it, or has anybody done any of that stuff? Do you know the cost involved in it? I have no idea. So I have no Cricut. So if you have a Cricut, you can make a shirt. I don't have one. These are 2.5 inch. I was going to go 3, but I didn't want to do that in case I wanted to put these on a hat. This is the exact size I would need, the 2.5. Obviously these are decals, so I can't stick it on. I would have to embroider it or make a patch, but if anybody knows what the pricing is on that, if you have a Cricut, or you can send me a message, let me know what it would be, if it's worth it. At least I appreciate that. That's awesome that you would wear one. I would wear one too, right? I'm thinking about changing my background again, guys. I'm thinking about putting the KISS on top, spelling out KISS. And then I'm thinking about putting all the whore ones on the bottom, or maybe the whore ones across the top and KISS on the bottom. This is my background now, guys. I did the black ceiling tiles, so it kind of makes a cool checker pattern. I took the white ones out, put the black ones in. When I turn the light on it, guys, it really reflects really bad. So I'm just kind of not putting the light on now. I have the skull behind me. I think I need new batteries. It's kind of dying out. But yeah, guys, I'm like I said, it's all in fun. It's all in good spirits. I try to be positive. I try to build a community up. I try to do all of this stuff that I can to promote my podcast and to promote my interviews and the people that I have on. I am building up. You should get the light up letters for one fun guy on top. I could do that. I don't know what the dimensions are. This is a very small area. It looks bigger, but it's probably about maybe 5 inches from this top of the wood to the ceiling. So it would have to be like really kind of in there. I don't know if I would do the OFG or if I could actually spell out one fun guy. I have some stuff coming down the pipeline to see what would work, where I could do this. I really, honestly, guys, so here's my thought process, right? Tell me if you guys think this is good. Lisa, you're on here. I don't know who else is, but I thought maybe for Black Friday, if I found a 55 or 65 inch television with a stand, I could put the TV right behind me And then in the background, the TV would basically come to the ceiling here. And then underneath that, it would basically be the whole screen behind me to my shoulders. And then I could put whatever I want on the screen. I could put my logo. I could put the band that I'm interviewing, the wrestler that I'm interviewing, the sports person that I'm viewing. Interviewing, I could do all of that stuff on the background of my TV. Like I said, I could do a backdrop, right? Like a bunch of people on TikTok have green screens and they do whatever. But I pretty much like having an actual background. Like I don't want to change the image behind me. And then every time I move, I'm pixelated or like, I don't like that look. And I'm not a professional by any stretch of the imagination, but I just don't like the way it is. Like when people are live and they're moving around and the screen is glitching behind them, like it aggravates me and I don't like it. So I don't have it. This is my real, like obviously if I move out of the way, this is my backdrop, guys. Like this is it. My record player's here. My records are here. This is me. So there's nothing fake about this. This is, if I get up and leave this area, this is what's behind me. So it's kind of cool that I built it up because when I first started, it was literally just empty cabinets and people were like, wow, that's boring. So I decided that I was going to hang up my action figures from college, right? The Kiss and the horror stuff. I got, Michael Myers, The Scream, Friday the 13th, Jason and Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm obviously a huge Kiss fan. I wanted to get the Ozzy one, but obviously since he passed away, now they've all tripled and quadrupled in price. So roll TVs. That's what I was thinking, right? So they make those stands that are podiums, right? So the pole sticks up, you hang the TV on the pole, and then that way I can move it. Because there's no way for me to mount it on the wall. It's impossible. The bracket would never fit right here, so I couldn't even consider doing that, and I couldn't get it this way to mount over me. So I'd have to get a pole and a lift to put the TV up. But because of the background of how far I am, I'm probably right now, guys, about 4 feet from the back wall. So obviously I can't reach out and touch it, but if I put the screen, it would probably come to here. And then because it's 65-inch, it would cover me. So that would be the background. And then you would basically see whatever I wanted on the TV. That's my plan. I don't know how much they are, how much they would be. Obviously, right, I have to look at price of the stand and the TV. I mean, I don't want to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but I looked at a 65-inch TV at Best Buy. They had one on sale for $329. So I'm thinking maybe Black Friday I could probably get it for like $249. And then a stand is probably $100. So for $350, I could probably do that. I think it would look cool. The only thing is if it doesn't, then what do I do, right? Then I have a TV. I already have a big screen TV, so I'd have an extra TV. Obviously I don't want it to backfire on me either, setting it up. So I think it would look really cool. I agree with you. The problem is like I said, if it doesn't look cool or it doesn't do what I think it's going to do, then I have an extra TV and it's at that point, I don't know what I would do. So maybe I'll try to set it up and see. I was definitely thinking about getting a USB drive, putting all my logos and stuff on the USB drive. It would. I have faith in you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's what I'm thinking, right? That maybe that would work, and that would probably be the best course of action to have a backdrop, and then I could put whatever I wanted on the TV. I could mirror my phone and put pictures up or the band and stuff like that. I could play around with it and have a bunch of options. So that's in the works. I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'll do it this Black Friday. Maybe I'll wait to see. I don't know. I put a bunch of work into hanging these up. I put zip ties around and little clips. And so I kind of made these work so they wouldn't fall. So I put a lot of work and effort into hanging these up, as crazy as it sounds. It's actually like they're up there pretty securely. And I did put a lot of work into it because if I didn't want them, I could just cut them. I didn't want to nail anything in. I didn't want to bolt anything in. And that's pretty much the problem I've been having is that, like, some people said, well, why don't you just paint the wood black and make it your background? And I was like, yeah, but I don't really want to mess with it because everything else in my basement is that color wood, that light oak color, light pine color, and I don't really want to mess with it too much. And I somebody said, why don't you put lights around it? But I don't want the glue to stick to the wood. Obviously, for those of you who know me, my goal is not to stay in Illinois after I retire. So I kind of want to keep the house as pure as I can. So when I leave, I don't want to paint anything black or a weird color. That way, when somebody else moves in, they're like, well, I don't like these cabinets. I don't want them. Why did you paint them? I wish you would have just left them. So that's my goal, is to leave everything the way it is, and then let the next person buy the house figure out what they want to do, because obviously my goal is not to stay in Illinois. And leave the Chicagoland area and get out of state, right? I want to go to warmer pastures, guys. I've had enough of these cold winters. I really don't like the cold. I don't like the snow anymore. I have 6 more years to go until I retire, and when I do, I don't want to look back. I don't really have any reason to stay in Illinois, and I just want fun in the sun, guys. Retirement. I just want to enjoy the nice weather, the beaches, and do that. So yeah. So Lisa, I'm not going to paint. I've already decided I'm not going to do that. I tried hanging some backdrop stuff up. It just keeps falling or moving. It's not really. This is the best thing that I've had so far. And then obviously the ceiling tiles, I could just pop these up and put the white ones back in. I like the black ones for now. When I do put this light on though, right here above me, it shines and reflects down, so it's a little bit much. So I usually tend to go a little bit darker when I'm live, and then keep the light out. It just makes things a little bit easier for me to match up the lighting, because when I shine it, it comes down and it reflects really bad off of that. So I think I pretty much have a good setup. I like where I'm at. I'm comfortable where I'm at. Obviously, I'm lucky enough that my house is big enough that I can actually make a studio space. So this is kind of like my podcast studio. Obviously, my records are behind me, my speakers behind me. I got, all the stuff that I like behind me. I'd love to one day make it an actual, get better cameras and have 2 seats. And then that way I could do the podcast with somebody actually sitting down. So I would do one across from me this way and one across from me this way. And then that way I would have the backdrops. That's my ultimate goal, is to make it comfy, have some chairs, maybe a small little table, and actually do a podcast and have somebody come and hang out and, just chat and do that. So you can interview me. I would love to do that. If you want to be a guest, Lisa, shoot me a DM. I have no problem talking to anybody. If that's something you really want to do or you want to try, I can make it happen. I have no problem doing that. I really just kind of wanted to make, my podcast studio me, and put everything that I like into it, right? I know a lot of guys really kind of go, and girls too especially, right? They put in their backdrops what they think other people would want. And this is me, guys. If you know me, I love horror movies. I love heavy metal music. I'm a big music fan in general. I like to read. I got a ton of books. People have sent me comics and stuff like that, and books that I've read. People that have sent me stuff. So I have watched books. I have, if you know me, I've engulfed myself with everything that I love. So I am a huge Kiss fan. My Vampiro action figures here, my buddy James got for me, right? My toy, my Vampiro. All my wrestling stuff is over here, guys. You can't see it next to me, but all my signatures of everybody who I've met and taken pictures with. So if you come to my studio, it's me, guys. I'm not putting this stuff up because I don't it's me. I love horror movies. I love Kiss. I love heavy metal. I love rock. All of my records are me. I'll pull one off, right? So you guys know, obviously, so for example, this, I love heavy metal. This is Death, right? Their live album. Everything that I have down here is me, guys. There's nothing down here that wouldn't reflect me and what I love and what I'm about. So if you guys know me, this is me, right? All the stuff that I have on my desk, all the cool stuff I have, the different lights and stuff like this, it's all me, right, guys? So this is stuff that I would have if I was, not in a studio. These are things that would be around me. They would be that way. There would be no difference. It's me. So when I'm here and I'm live, this is what you see is what you get. This is me. Like I said, I could put the green screen up. I could do the backdrop. I could do all that stuff, but I put enough effort and time into changing my ceiling tiles, my backdrop, what's behind me, and it reflects me. So I really, this is me in the nutshell, guys. When I come live, this is me in the studio. It's how I do my podcast. It's how I split my screens. There's nothing different than me coming live on TikTok and doing this, or me being live with a guest. It's the way I run my podcast. It's authentically me. I know some people are like, oh, you should do this and you should do that, and I take their advice, right? I like input, I like criticisms, I like critiques, but generally at the end of the day, it's me. And everything that's here, like, so the Decade That Rocked, right? Guns N' Roses is on the cover. I love 80s metal music, right, guys? It's me. It's what I grew up on. So I don't shy away from that fact. I'm a Guns N' Roses fan, Poison, Slaughter, Skid Row, Motley Crue, Cinderella, and on and on and on. It's me. That's who I am. I love really, really heavy metal as well. But I like 80s. That's what I grew up on. And that's genuinely me. I have a huge Guns N' Roses record collection. I am just a fan of that stuff. So, and I'm not going to shy away from it. If somebody says, what's your favorite band? Obviously, if you know me, my all-time favorite band is Pantera. But I'm a huge Guns N' Roses fan, huge Motley Crue fan, right? So it is me. I love Kiss. It's just who I am and what makes me. And so I'm authentic when I come on live, guys. This is my backdrop. This is my studio. This is me. Anytime I glitch, anytime I hiccup, anytime I sneeze, anytime I cough, it's me. Do I edit those things out when I'm doing an interview? Of course. But when I'm on TikTok and I load these up to YouTube, it's just me. How I am here is how it goes up. I want everybody to see all the inquiries, right? All the stuff that happens when you're live, all the things that can go wrong, right? All the interactions, all the stuff. I want it to be genuine, guys. This is me. There's nothing fake about this. It's my basement, it's my studio, it's my setup. But I love the fact that I'm down here and I can do this, and be a part of you guys, right? And do all this stuff for you guys, right? And it makes it fun when you guys interact with me and you kind of, be a part of what I'm doing. I really appreciate it. I truly do. I know that for a very long time, I did have a basic background. I didn't have all this stuff. So over time, I've just been really lucky that I've been fortunate enough to actually be a part of a unit, a team in a community that's formed one solid unit for me to rely on and fall back on. So with that being said, guys, I really, again, appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Those of you guys that have been with me from the beginning, it means the world to me. I don't know where Ellie's at. She's my mod. She's usually on. Anyways, like I said, guys, it's really, really, imperative that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps me out a lot. If you guys could at least do that for me, that would be awesome. Obsolete, what's up? If you guys are here, say what's up. Please be a part of the community, support the podcast. I really, truly appreciate it, guys. I am the One Fun Guy podcast. My guests coming up are going to be Raven Black and Casey, guys. So please be a part of that. I will send out all the reminders and stuff like that, but it really means a lot to me. All my videos are up on YouTube, including this one. So if you head over to YouTube, guys, it's One Fun Guy podcast over on YouTube. And I really appreciate all the love and support, guys. Thank you for everybody who's been on tonight, everybody who's liked the video and shared the video. It means the world to me, guys. So again, I really appreciate it. I am going to be hopping off here. I have some stuff I need to take care of. But again, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. It means the world to me from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so very much. And I will see you guys on the next one. It should be next Thursday. I'm not sure. I might come on over the weekend just to say what's up and see what's going on. If you guys are here live, please say hi. Enjoy the community, embrace the community, do all the fun stuff that, we appreciate and enjoy here. Like I said, guys, have the best weekend possible. Happy Labor Day. Enjoy the holiday. Take your time off. Enjoy it with your family, your loved ones. I might be around. If I'm not, DM me and say what's up. I'll send you a message back. If anybody's interested in the decals, please let me know where I can send one, and I will. Thank you guys again from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it. I am the One Fun Guy podcast, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you all again, guys, and we'll see you soon.